We're here at Rocky Mountain Specialty Gear with my good friend Tom Clum. Tom's the owner here. He's also a level 4 USA archery coach, traditional bow hunter, the owner of Solid Archery Mechanics, and he's also the creator of the Solid Grip Trigger. And so today we're going to walk through how to set up a solid grip trigger on a brand new bow. This is my peak-to-peak ILF riser. This is a new bow to me, and so Tom's gonna help us set that up. And he's also got his peak-to-peak ILF riser over here set up. Before we do that, for anybody who's not aware, what actually is a solid grip trigger?
A solid grip trigger is designed to manage a very common form of target panic when our brain has attached the release to the aim. A lot of us weren't taught to separate the fact that the aim and the finish of the shot were two separate jobs. We did what was intuitive. We would aim, and as soon as the aim came, we would release. That process became more efficient towards aim release. Well, we repeated that so many times that our brain actually built a link between the central input, visual in this case, of the aim to the release. And then eventually a neural link was built between the aim and release, subconsciously linked to the central input of the aim. And then we lost control of this hand. A good first step to getting control of your shot is to attach your release to something that's not the aim. That's what clickers do. That's what feather touches do. And so this little grip trigger deflects and causes a click. All we're doing is we're concentrating after aim on increasing string tension and tension to the target with the front hand, and pretty soon, click, boom, the shot breaks. And then you get this magnificent increase in your mental control, and then of course accuracy, because the arrow's going to go right where it's pointed.
Well, it's mid-May right now in Colorado, but there's no better time to work on my shot, I think, than
No, we got till September to dial
right now.
everything in.
Yeah. But right now, Tom's going to walk us through how to set this up on my new bow. All right, so Tom, it's the next day.
Yeah.
We kind of got sidetracked a little bit.
Yes, we did. That's all right.
But let's go ahead and get started. Why don't you show us how to set up a new bow with a solid grip trigger?
So this is what you're going to be doing on your own. I'm going to help Steve with this. I like to help people set them up. So basically on the peak-to-peak riser, we've got a big flat area. We can use a small, medium, or large. I've got a large one here. I had an extra handy. I put the little felt button on it. So I can look at where Steve's hand is going to be on the bow. I'll estimate where I think that'll be a good pressure point for him. I'll place it on the bow, and then Steve's just going to try this. He's going to put it into pressure. When you're starting, I'd say make it a little too easy at first, because we need to make it click. You need to get your mind connected to the click for the release. As you progress in the skill set, move it off of pressure a little bit. I'm going to do it the way that I do it every single time. I use a couple of pieces of electrical tape sitting off the ends of this, and I kind of fold the ends down so it's easy to pull back off. What we're going to do is we're going to go estimate again where this thing should sit. I've got a good visual to lift off Steve, and I'm going to come in here. I'm going to place that down there, put the tape down on the sides of the bow, and let's try that again, buddy. So that you replicated your good grip. So it popped pretty early, right?
Yeah, pretty
so it's
early.
Way too easy.
Yep.
So we can move it off the bottom, or we can move it up front. Let's try that again. Go ahead and draw the bow. Okay, now hold a little pressure off that, Steve. Ooh, it's close now. It's coming in further into the grip. We could possibly use the other little plastic fixture that we always include within a package. So we're going to try it once more time. If it pops way too easy, we're going to replace the felt button with the little plastic one.
Okay.
All right, bring it back down here. So I'm going to grab this little plastic button, and we're going to have a lot less pressure into the trigger now. Let's try that smaller button and see what that works like for you.
No pop.
No pop, so it got a little too hard. Now, are you sure you had good pressure into the grip?
Let me just try
it again. Yeah.
So it did pop there.
Okay.
Second time.
Almost want to try a shot with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's activate it with pressure to the target. Relaxing the wrist, letting it come right into the target. Pressing to target. Start pressing, keep going, Bam, ooh. You hit a 1-inch little piece of foam at 20 yards. I think you've used a grip trigger before, so your mind is already linked to the pop for the release. And my gosh, the accuracy was stupid good right there.
Stupid good.
We're using this button first, and it gave too much pressure to the grip trigger. So we placed it with this small hard plastic bead, and to reduce the pressure into the grip trigger. And we made one move, this thing, and the bead on there, it allowed you to get into holding without having to hold off too hard. But then as you activated your shot, it popped with good timing. So in that shot, I had you concentrate on just really pressing to target to create additional string tension, because even when you're pressing the target, you probably felt that you kept your back tension very solid, but you could feel an increase in string tension too, most likely.
Yeah.
And so as you came in there, you built your holding position without popping it, obtained his aim, and then we got into pressure, mostly off the front side. So he's pressing directly to the X-ring. Now, you didn't notice perceptible movement. That's exactly right. It's a very slow increase in pressure. The thing popped. It activated Steve's release at the subconscious level. Bam. Very, very high accuracy.
Yeah.
You had a good aim, obviously, and the arrow went right where it was aimed.
Yeah.
That seems to be really good.
I'm very
We're going
pleased
to
with
test it
that.
a few times and confirm that.
Yeah.
And then we'll activate it based on back tension, and then we'll activate it pressing and pressing. They're opposing movements. I'll provide the words this time, but this is what a person has to do in his own mind to keep their concentration trapped in this increasing tension or the expansion phase of the shot. So I might provide this. Stay in there, Steve. It's coming. That's what you'll need to do for yourself if you ever get one that's really not going. Right? And let's get your aim. Start driving just your back tension. Stay in it. Stay in it until it comes. Bam. Got a click and a shot. All right.
And that, I felt like I was very much really off from a point where I was torquing my wrist.
that's. I don't want you to have to lift the hand that much. It screws up. It's very distracting.
Yeah. Now, we're kind of diagnosing some inconsistencies in my shot right now, too.
So
So why was it so hard to press the first time? I felt like I had to give a lot of bow arm pressure the first shot.
But it popped with good timing.
Correct, but I can't even get into anchor without it popping. What's going on there?
Where exactly you press your grip is going to affect how much you're into tension or not. If you place it one time and it's the perfect tension, and all of a sudden it pops too easy the next time, it's because you change your hand placement.
So it's an indication of inconsistency
Grip,
in my
which
grip.
which as a training tool, the grip trigger pointed that out to you.
Okay.
It also can diagnose a little bit of bow torque. You should not have any twisting, mashing motion in your bow hand. That grip should be fairly consistent, and that wrist should be very limp. We don't want to have any shearing force on the bow. Now, if you'll notice that grip trigger got slid over to the left a little bit at the bottom.
Sliding. Yeah.
Because we slid it to the left could have got it more into pressure. So let's put it more centered again.
Like so?
Yeah, like so.
Okay.
And try it again. Now, a lot of people are unaware of the torque they're producing in a bow, and they'll literally smash the grip trigger to pieces. I will replace that for you because it kind of involves a archery lesson. I will warranty that for you. But because it pointed out something important. If you're producing a shearing force in your grip, you're producing a torque that's going to affect your accuracy. No doubt about it.
Is that perceptible to you? Can you see someone doing that in their shot?
Not always, because when they're in a static position, that tension's built into the system, and you might see the bow tweak a little bit on the shot.
Okay.
But while at holding, you really don't see it. That pressure's built into the system. It's shearing, but it's fixed, and then you'll see the bow tweak. And we want the bow to jump right to target with a proper grip.
Yeah.
That's what we're after.
Okay.
So we just exposed a little bow torque. Good.
Yep.
We learned something from it.
Getting
So
a
you got to
lesson here.
remember that thumb pad gets placed on the grip in a perfect spot every time. That pressure always goes straight to target.
So I'm going to get into anchor, and you're going to talk me through.
Yep.
Okay.
Come in, transfer, get your aim. Now start driving that back tension, letting that wrist relax. Stay in there. Boom, right in the bullseye.
There it goes again, man.
Right in the middle.
So I'm going to have to, if we leave this here, I'm going to have to
Get used to
give off on the pressure a little bit.
Right, you're
till
going
I
to have
get
to
into
hold it
anchor.
off of pressure a little bit as you come into holding.
Okay.
I like mine a little more perfect than that. I might play with that for a
A
while.
little bit. Okay.
I might.
But this is adequate for now.
Oh, yeah.
But I would
Absolutely.
say might be a challenge is it's raining and I got a slippery bow and I don't feel like I have good purchase. Because this is already, I don't have any grip on here. This is pretty slick.
Yeah.
I know your setup actually is pretty cool. Do you want to show us how you've set yours up?
Yeah, sure. So I did a bit of a custom setup on mine because I basically have a leather saddle over it. I took some thin deer hide. I got my fixture exactly the way I like it. And then I put Barge's rubber cement on this whole thing except for this place that surrounds the grip trigger. And then I molded it and trimmed it exactly. I stretched the leather and got it all flat the whole way around this thing and made myself a nice little saddle. I wanted to make a bulletproof system so I can let anybody shoot this bow. They can't move that grip trigger. It's right in a spot that works for me well with good timing. And so it's a little custom setup. We actually are talking about supply the leather and supply the parts, then get this little custom kit. You need a little Barge's rubber cement from Walmart. That's about the only thing you'd have to get otherwise. But we could supply the leather, we could supply the fixtures and do a video on how to set it, a little custom setup like this.
Well, Tom, I want to appreciate you giving me the time today. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I'm looking forward to continuing working on this and running it. I think it's going to make things real fun. I'm looking forward to reporting back. And if any of you all have been using the solid grip trigger and have anything to report, please let us know in the comments below. Also, you can hit us up on RMS Gear on Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to hear how you're running it, how it's helped you, and if you have any other things that you'd like to learn from Tom, please let us know that as well. But thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for next time.